Hello, everyone, and welcome to Out of Combat, our casters and cantrips after show chitty chat. My name is Nina, and I'm here with Maximus Rake, our illustrious DM, and Bunny Dreadful, who is playing the wonderful Emmy. Today was an episode.
Yeah, you also play Cooter, by the way, Nina.
I play Cooter. Yes,
Did you know
I do.
you play Cooter? Did you know that?
Wow.
Well, apparently I'm supposed to know everything.
Yes.
You know everything.
I don't know what I know.
And that was
one of those things.
Part of this episode. Episode, what, 22? We're on episode 22?
22.
Yeah. There was several thousand episodes so far, 22,000 minus 1,000 to be exact.
And you knew everything. You knew. What was it that you knew that you're feet?
Oh, everything. Exactly
which
direction we had to go, exactly who we had to talk to, who from our crew was in the tavern.
You did know who was in the tavern.
Remember Bartholomew?
Bartholomew, that was his name.
Bartholomew, yeah, Who was that? He was the museum curator who gave us the tour, who I am now led to believe is the man on the inside of the
that's
of
why
the
I didn't
job.
know him. I wasn't there that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay,
no, you weren't there that day. He
Yeah.
took us on a guided tour of the museum, and he was
Can't believe
really chatty, nice dude, seemed on the up and up, real nice chap. But apparently they had interviewed him already as part of the investigation. He was like, "Oh, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about any of this stuff." And so now I really want to go and kick his butt.
What if he's being blackmailed? What is his fault?
To me? Well, that's like what is
that letter?
Well, the thing is, even in the law, right? You would still get in trouble. You let someone blackmail you. You should have just gone to the watchers and said, "This person's trying to blackmail me."
Yeah, but would you go to court if somebody was blackmailing you? Because you go to court, he's going to be like,
"That's what I'm saying. Just because you didn't go
can't
ask
believe
for
you
help
got yourself in this situation.
You can escape punishment for being
That's
an
true.
accomplice."
No, it's true. It's true.
So,
but you'd feel more sympathy for him. Maybe.
Yeah, no. Oh, I totally get it from his perspective. But as Cooter, I'm going to kick some ass.
I think the letter...
I will
say...
I will say, too, and for those of you who are watching who didn't catch the one-shot on Obsidian and you don't know what we're talking about before I mention it, is that during the special Obsidian charity one-shot, the crew played the party that stole the artifact. So Moobs doesn't get me a copy of that when he gets a chance, when he gets back, and then I can put it up on our channel too, so you can watch it and figure out what happened. It's ridiculous.
Will it be a podcast also?
Yeah, there will be. It'll be like 2 hours of silliness, but that's what they did. But I just wanted to go full circle. Bartholomew was there the night of the heist. He was the person talking loudly about guided tours and talking to the other person.
That's
there.
right. I remember that. I remember him being like, "Yeah, we're doing guided tours now," or whatever, which was our idea.
That was because at the end of our guided tour, we were like, "Wow, that was really fantastic. This should be a thing that you guys offer." And then he was like, "Yeah, we should." So yeah, but now I'm going to kick his butt because he lied to me, and I don't like that.
I just think that letter sounded vaguely threatening. Like, sure, it seems all sweet, but if you read it in a threatening voice,
but it also kind of made no sense either. Yeah, but that's I think that's what's unsettling about it, is because it's like
okay,
for those who don't remember from the episode, we found a little hidey hole, if you will. A little.
This was the partially burned letter you found in the fire on the back that wasn't all the way burned
this
through.
One was hidden. No, this was the hidden one.
There are 2 letters.
There were two. One had Bartholomew.
She's talking about the burnt one with Bartholomew. Okay.
Yeah,
that one was burnt. Yeah, the one that you're talking about, the vague, threatening one, was the one that we found in a hidey hole that was hidden away. And that one is,
for anyone listening, so they have it. But I'm going to read it in a threatening voice so I can prove my point.
Yes.
Tally-ho, when did you want to see your old Gramps? You know I've got baskets to weave, but you can come by my shop if you can't wait. If you can hold off for just a little bit, I'll drop by and bring you some sweeties, Susanna. be good for your mother and go catch some butterflies. See, threatening.
I think it's
Well, that's
sweet.
the thing.
You think it's sweet?
It's sweet with an underlying tone of unhinged, not quite
Unhinged.
rightness.
Yes, it sounds unhinged. And
Yeah,
that's why
like
I feel
come by
threatened.
my shop if you can't wait. But if you can wait, if you can hold off just a little bit, then I'll bring you some sweeties.
It's like, don't give up on the plan just yet. You're going to get paid. That's what I'm pretty sure it's saying, but I don't know
Yes.
how to prove that.
A nice grandpa just sending a letter to his granddaughter. Wow.
Who says tally ho anyways?
A grandpa?
They do.
That
The people on the boat that we're chasing.
I was hoping maybe there was like invisible ink on it, or like that's why I did detect magic. I was like, maybe there's like another letter under this letter or something.
And
But I don't know how to check for that.
But that's so funny that you're saying that now, because that's the thing that got us to where we're going to chase the artifact. We found a boat.
What's detect magic? I know. So I used detect magic because I thought maybe the letter was magic, and it's like you could only read it if you used like a spell or something. And then it wasn't, but there was,
Something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So in my mind,
just dumb luck.
I thought that people would be rolling more things inside, like trying different things out.
What were we supposed to roll?
So
You're giving us too much credit, I think.
Yeah, because you tried some investigation. I gave the perception to Cooter because she's observant. I figured people would try like, you knew you're looking for like a magical artifact, maybe try Arcana, like all kinds of other stuff. But the detect magic led you to it immediately, which was great.
Okay, so it worked. But yeah, I mean, I was like, I don't know what else you wanted me to do. I licked the letter. I smelled the letter. Like we did all our senses.
No, I mean, you got what you could possibly get out of that letter.
Oh, so it's not a secret coded letter.
I mean, it is definitely a secret coded letter.
Oh, okay. But you were like, no, it's just a letter from a grandpa. And I was
no,
like,
but that's all you get. And there's reasons for that.
Is it a puzzle?
Yeah. No.
Is it? Oh God, I feel so dumb.
It's just
Chat, if
communication that we're gonna have to find out when.
If anyone knows, if anyone's watching and is like, oh my God, you guys are so dumb. Everyone knows Tally Ho's code for like steal the relic.
Tally Ho is just
put it in the comments.
Thing.
No, who says Tally Ho? Tally Ho is like a cowboy thing.
Tally Ho is a gaff-rigged cutter yacht designed by the artist and yacht designer Albert Strange. It is a yacht.
No, it's not.
Why
do
it
probably is.
Tally Ho.
It's a horse thing. It's a horse thing.
It is a horse thing. To tell others,
the rest are horse
quarry
girls.
has
Sorry.
been sighted.
What?
To tell others, the quarry has been sighted.
We solved it. But I mean,
if you're just listening to the podcast, you should have seen how big our mouths and eyes just got.
Tally ho is an exclamation that people said in the olden times too.
But it also means that you've seen the thing. It says it's also a huntsman's cry when you sight a fox. So it's like we have found
by the huntsman to tell others the quarry has been sighted. Yes.
What if Max doesn't know that and he just thought it was a way for an old man to sound, and we're both like going insane?
He's like, you'll never know.
There's strings up, and we're like,
yeah. But I mean, it's some sort of coded message. You all know that. What
do you think butterflies is code for, Nina? If you had to pick anything in the world that butterflies was code for, what would you pick?
Okay, wait. If we do this live, all right?
Yeah.
Artifact's been sighted. When did you want to come see me? You know I've got shit to do, but you can come by the hideout anytime. But if you can wait a little bit, then I'll come and
bring you something good.
Bring you something helpful to potentially get the thing. So you can either go get the thing.
What if mother is real and they have his mother and his mother is like the ransom?
What makes you think that? What makes you think that that letter, is it all related to the other letter?
We don't. We're just
saying.
stabbing. We're just stabbing. He literally, okay, for those of you who don't know, after the show, he literally told us he threw a bunch of red herrings in there, and we're sitting here obsessing over this thing that is potentially a red herring, but we'll never know until such
the
time
red
as we
herring was
find
the
something.
bar. Wait, do you think this is a red herring? Max, don't listen. Nina,
This is hilarious. I love this.
Do you think it's a red herring?
This is the Joe and Nina detective show now.
What does your gut tell you?
My gut tells me that Max doesn't really like puzzles. So if this was a really, really good coded message, that means he would have worked all week on it. But I also know that he was supposed to play Baldur's Gate 3 with me all day today, and he did not. He prepped for the game for like 5 hours.
Detective skills on point. 50-50 chance. 50-50 chance.
50-50. Yeah, let's
get on this phone and we'll find out.
Thanks.
Exactly.
Or if anyone has any ideas, throw them in the chat and let us know.
So, Matt, how much? So, you specifically told us that there were some red herrings. One of them, I think, was the wild magic thing, magic lady.
Yeah, that was cool though.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and also it has me wondering if, like, you're telling us they're red herrings just because they're not relevant now, but they might be later on. So I'm like making a mental note of Fireball Lady for any time I see something weird next time.
Yeah,
and then there was like informant guy.
Mm-hmm. That was great. He did help though. That led us to the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. But also,
still don't know if he stole his apples though.
It was. I do find it funny when we're trying to communicate live on stream, and it's hard sometimes when you're improving to be like, because in Max's mind, he's like, "This is your informant. You talk about things in private so that you don't blow the cover of the man who is your informant." And the informant's like, "You better take me somewhere safe to question me."
Yeah.
This is like,
Tor's just like, "Speak, peon." He just like takes the whip out. He's like, "Tell me everything you know.
Take me to pretend jail."
Take you to pretend jail is my favorite. That's just the nature of, like you said, Nina, like having to do improv live is sometimes someone's like laying it down.
Yeah.
And you're just not
picking it up. Yeah. That's the funniest thing. Like even when Core gave us that look and Kuda's like, I know. Like, yes, this is exactly the way he would react. And you're just like, oh my God, is he mad? Like in real life.
so funny. It was so good though.
Speaking of Core, like what do you all think of Core? This is like the first full episode where you've like been with this new like party member.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's hilarious.
I have a good sense of who he is after this episode for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of knew who he was already, but it's amazing seeing how confirmed. It's confirmed, and also how he's a real smart lad. Like he knows how to use the rest of the team to his advantage, even though
that's a good
even
point.
though he comes off as like a bit, you know, I'm not fapping. I'm emphasizing with my hands.
She's fapping. Don't let her fool you.
That's a totally different podcast.
Yeah.
That's Casters and Cantrips After Dark.
Yeah, like my face over there now. But yeah, like he knows how his character comes across, so he uses the rest of the cast to like support his mission in a way, even though he's sick of our shit.
And he was like kind of studying us because like, and I didn't realize it, but VS did a really good job of playing this because like after he'd been with us for a little bit, he's like, okay, well, Emmy can do this, right? So why don't you do this? Like he was paying attention to what we could do. Yeah. Yes, VS knows what we can do, but he was playing it very much in a way that like Core was like, okay, what are these knuckleheads actually good at, and what can I actually use them for? Which was really cool.
I almost feel like, and this isn't, I don't know if it was intentional from VS or not. We just talked about some direction and like how to get him back and like some things that'd be cool to do. But Core almost feels like almost like an opposite or like a foil of like Hayden's personality and attitude.
Yeah.
Where Hayden is like super laid back, goes with the flow, like steps in when he needs to. And like Cora's just like, I'm taking charge, I'm doing this thing, and it's my way or the highway kind of thing. It's really interesting to see.
Yeah, it is now that you mention it.
I want them to meet. I want VS to play off VS and see what
play
happens.
with himself for a little bit.
Yeah.
Feel what I feel sometimes. And
No, we're not talking about fapping anymore. Okay.
No.
After dark.
Okay.
Although we were in the D&D sense talking about playing with ourselves for fun with the crew that did the burglary. Which would be
because if we
hilarious.
fought them, then we'd have to fight ourselves.
Yes.
Everyone would have a second turn in the initiative.
That would be
like
really fun though, because both of my characters fail all the time.
No, your character in the one shot was rolling really well.
Oh, that was not like her.
That was making me upset because normally Cooter can't roll to save the life.
I know. I
feel so
literally
like save those dice for Cooter.
Someone else's.
Yeah, whatever dice those were, I think they need cleaned or something, so they'll work for Cooter. Speaking of Cooter, I want to know. Okay, didn't Cooter have some studies about things that came about from the catastrophe?
That's one of her main missions, is to find out what the hell happened.
So if we find
her
this
family
relic,
was from that area.
Okay.
Originally, way
her
back
family was
when
from that area that got destroyed.
Displaced. Yeah, and she got displaced. So, which is funny because I thought that you knew this, but you didn't.
Know that. We need to bring that up in game because Emmy doesn't know this.
No, I think she hinted a little bit and chatted a little bit about it, like briefly, but yeah, like that's why she's so invested in finding out like who did this, how did this happen, like, yeah.
And I'll have to bring it up because
not many of her around in this world.
Well, because I was thinking this relic could have helpful information for you potentially if it's been around since then.
And in my mind, I figured that was also part of where her artificer abilities come from. That's what made her curious about it in the first place. She didn't even know how. That's why she's always failing. She doesn't even know how to use her own power. Like
it's like it didn't come naturally to her, but because she's so curious about it, she's like gonna do it anyways, even if she's not good at it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like trying to like explore and understand it more. And then who knows, maybe if she finds out where it came from and how it all manifested, then she'll have a better understanding and a better handle on all that stuff.
This is interesting. I think all our characters are going to be closer tied together than we realize in the end. And so it's making me realize we need to talk more.
But the thing is, when we talk, it's hard to find opportunities to be very specific about that stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you just, I feel like this is an interesting thing for Max too, how you feel about it as a DM from like a showrunner's perspective, I would say, not necessarily from a DM's perspective, but like it's strange because it's kind of like forcing. I feel like it's a two-pronged thing, right? The opportunities for us to discuss those things have to come from our interactions with the world and with other characters in the world. So like the what's his face, the asshole science man. Sylvanor. Yeah, like his arrival, conversations with him will bring stuff out, or with all of Azric's stuff. We found out everything about him from his interactions with the world, and going back to his home and talking to his mom and all of those things. So I feel like with Cooter's situation, it is probably one of the things that would come really late to talk about because of the nature of it, right? Like when do you get to?
I mean,
that's just my sense. Like, if stuff happens earlier, that's kind of my go with the flow thing as a player is like, I don't know when those opportunities will come up, but I trust that it will through our interactions.
My thing as DM, or like when you said showrunner, I know how all of the threads align and where all the pieces fit. And I try not to be overbearing because I know things that the players don't, right? But I think a specific case that will be interesting from my perspective is if you recover this, magical lockbox, right? That's supposedly from like the era of the catastrophe that might have something to do with it. that seems right up Cooter's alley of like, what is like, if that's in your possession, like, what do you do with it? Like, this is stuff that like, oh God, like I want this, but we have to give it back. But what do I do? Like, how do we open it? Do we open it? Like, that's going to bring up so many cool things, I think.
That's what I mean. And by later, I don't mean like in the next 6 months from now. I just mean in terms of like, it's not something that we just sit around the campfire the first time we meet each other and we're like, so tell me all your
that's
trauma.
The hard part. Like finding that balance of like, yeah, tell me your trauma versus like, hey, we're friends now. Do you want to open up? But like, you can't wait. Like, but we're doing it.
But there has to be a reason you ask that, right? Like,
yeah,
something's happened, and like when Azric finally wakes up, I think is going to be the point where we're like, so do you like, tell us about it? Like, what happened? Like, my guy.
But it's you bring up a really interesting point, Nina, because it's like in D&D, you're telling a story that's basically on fast forward where you're stopping every now and then to watch scenes. So, but it's hard to sometimes realize like, oh, okay, our characters probably would have gotten around to talking about this by now, because as far as we feel, it's like, oh, well, we just met like 2 days ago and we've been on a boat. It's like, no, technically it's been weeks and you guys have done a lot of stuff together. It just doesn't feel like that yet. But and then one day it does feel like it all of a sudden.
Yeah, but also like I'm not the type of person, and I don't think Cooter is the type of person to just ask about that stuff for the sake of asking. Like there would have to be a reason that would prompt that conversation. Yeah. Which comes from like the events happening or whatever, or like someone noticing someone else doing something really weird and being like, wait, why did that happen? Like, we should talk about that. Yeah. It's not really something that she would just sit down at dinner and be like.
Well, and Emmy tried that. She tried to get everyon to dinner and be like, okay, let's talk. And then it blew up in her face.
Like, no.
Well,
I was like, to put
it in perspective, because I keep like a calendar of the game and like how much time has passed by, because I have things that are important.
Your crew, also, Cooter would know this because she can remember every day.
Your crew has known each other for like a month and a half since the beginning.
Yes, it's not very long. I've known plenty of people in real life for longer than that I'm not going to tell them about my trauma or my family trauma.
You all have also gone through extraordinary circumstances together, and we're kind of brought together due to like, well, problems. So, but anyway,
but I do feel like we're missing the person that was enabling our crew to work together. So I'm a little worried for us.
Both of them.
Both people that kept us moose.
Your leadership on the ship, but
we're just the knuckleheads left. So I'm a little concerned for us, but I think we're at least all very united in our desire to get the two of them back. And I'm hoping that is going to keep things moving.
I think that's a great opportunity for where everyone kind of looked for those two for like leadership and like the glue. Now it's you three plus this new person that have to work together. So that's an excellent opportunity for everyone, the people that are left, to kind of get closer during all this stuff, to try and work together to get their friend back. So, but I think that's a good thought to leave us on for this episode. Some juicy stuff coming out from Nina too. I was going to drop some juicy lore, but we ran out of time, so we'll have to wait till next time.
We talked
so much. We're going to have to hear it next week.
I'll leave you a tidbit, and we can talk about it later. But you've noticed a lot of like dark elves that have come up in Escos. I wonder why they're there, and what they're doing, and what that story is, and why they're on the surface.
Oh yeah, they don't like the surface.
But anyway, see you all next time. Monday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific is Tome of Knowledge. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific is Bun Bun's art streams. And then Thursdays at noon is when these episodes drop out of combat on podcast and YouTube. And then, of course, Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific is when we stream live. So thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.